Welcome to a new update on my work in progresses. There we go. I just went to grab my work in progress trackers because first, a honest update. I have not been too productive with my whips lately. That's not strange because I launched a book. Sugar Do Happy Notes is now out. So yeah, that kind of kept me busy over the last few months. So I did not do a lot, and I think making this work in progress video might not be the most spectacular progress, but for me it's really good to get all my projects out here again. If you're a quilter like me who works on a ton of projects, I really recommend on every once in a while, every 3 months works for me, get all your projects out on a table and feel what you feel about them. Sometimes it sparks excitement and you get some urge to really work on a project again that you might forgot about a little bit because it was stored somewhere. And some projects you think, yeah, I haven't worked on this for a year. Do I really want to finish this, continue on this? So bringing this out on my table every once in a while really helps me, and that was not the intention. I had no idea that that would happen, but that did happen. So I'm happy that even though I don't have too much progress, I did find a lost whip. Someone out there asked about this and I found it again. That's awesome. So let's just dive into this, and I think I'm just going to go with my flow of starting with the projects that are not nearly done, or maybe we can do it the other way around this time. Let's start with something that is done, and that I could not show you the last time. So this is a project for my book, and it is a camera quilt. So I guess this was on my Only Needs Binding last time, and now it's done. There you go. A super-sized camera quilt block. This was such a fun project to do, especially for all the quilting, because it's a really doable size. It's 40 by 40 inches. You can go wild with the quilting, and that's kind of what I did. I used it to practice ruler work, I did straight line quilting, I did some free motion quilting. It's really nice because you have all those big areas in here, so you can play around with the quilting. And I love it. It was such a fun one to do, especially to practice that machine quilting on. I will show you, or have shown you, some detailed overviews of the quilting. So that is done. Let me fold that properly. Yeah, that is off my list. Let's see if there are other new ones that are off my list. Well, there's a table runner that I finished. That is also in the book, but that one I haven't showed yet to everybody, so there will be some surprises when you buy the book. So that one's done and in the book, and I also finished, well, the giraffe quilt, but I show you that already. And this one, the pink black quilt, I think I also showed in the previous update. Yeah, so then let's move on to Only Needs Binding. And this goes in the first category, so we'll get back to that lost project later. I think I still have the same 2 quilts that only need binding, and on one I did make progress. So the first one is the Row Along Quilt Along, my Bernina quilt. Still only needs binding, but I haven't done anything with that. And this one, my Let's Play quilt, now has a half put on binding. So I added, let's put that to the side, I added a yellow stripy binding there. Yeah, so now I need to hand stitch it to the back. Yep, so I will put this over my chair, then I can work on this during a break today. I already put this on my to-do today to work on. So yeah, then this is also done. Then in the needs quilting category, we have a 1, 2, 3 quilt that I want to quilt, 2 of them actually. Yeah, well, what to say about that? I want to quilt those, but haven't worked on those. They are not even here on my table. They are just not high priority projects, but I will probably finish them sometime. So here we have my mini follow me block that I've been quilting. This would be a lovely project to work on during a work day. So some work days I feel like quilting and not so much like doing administrative stuff, but when I combine those, so quilt for a bit, do administrative stuff for a bit, then they both go perfect. So then I do spend time quilting and I do spend time during my administrative stuff. So this is a perfect motivating project, I guess. Let's put this at my Q16 sit down quilt machine so I can work on this. Yeah, that goes there. Then here I have that project which has no priority at all, but I still like it too much to get rid of. So this will be a baby-ish quilt sometime, but not now. I'm sorry, not now. It's not you, it's me. Yeah, so this is also in the category needs basting, needs quilting. And then I have a whole pile over here that is in the starting process of quilt making. Yeah. Even though I wanted to finish a lot of quilts, I also started some over the last year. Maybe a little too much. Maybe I overestimated my finishing skills. But that's okay. It's okay. I love all of these, so they're all going to stay and they all will get attention every now and then. So here I have my little least started project because I haven't started yet, but I really do want to start it. I think I showed you also earlier. I got this during market last year, so I really want to finish it before market next year or this year. It's by a laser cut quilt, and the double-sided adhesive is already in here, and you can make this cute little quilt. I think it's wonderful to maybe practice raw edge applique on or do the blanket stitch on my machine, which I really like to do. That is also why I liked this project. So we'll be making this with scraps someday when I don't have so much to do, but no clue when that's going to happen. But yeah, this does make me happy, so I do want to work on that someday. Then let's see, here we have my Manx blocks. Don't have an update on that. Have not sewn a block, I guess. Yeah, maybe a few blocks. I have sewn a few blocks these last 3 months. So yeah, that is going really slow, but love it. And I'm going to take this with me when we go on holiday to Denmark later this summer in August. Yeah, so then I will sew some blocks again. That is that. What else do we have here? We have my Buy Any bag, which I have no progress on. I feel like I am stalling on this project, procrastinating on this project, because it feels a little bit daunting or big to me, because it has zippers and it has mesh fabric and there's a lot of things that I have not really done before. Well, I have done some zippers, but not that long zippers. New things, and I'm a little scared by it, to be honest. But yesterday Sana gave me the tip to watch the videos from the Bayani bags because they are, well, they have a ton of information. So I will do that, and then I probably feel confident enough to start on this. So also this material belongs to the bag. Everything is cut and labeled, so everything is ready to go. I just need to do it. And the pattern and materials for this, not the fabric, but this material and the zippers and stuff were also gifted to me during market last time, so I really want to finish it before market this year. That's a nice deadline, I guess. So that's that. What else do we have? Something I did not work on, the Tula pink fabric, Tula pink blocks. Also don't feel that I'm going to work on this really soon, so it's just going to stay on my shelves until I do feel working on that again. Something I did work on. Let's see, how am I going to show you these blocks? Well, this doesn't belong to there. Those are just some Orphan blocks. Let's see, I have had this on my design wall, but took it down to put my book quilts on there. I think I'll just put them up. Do I put them up? No, I don't think I'm going to work on this over the next 2 weeks. I'll just show you some blocks that I made. So I did sunflowers. I made all of the sunflowers that go in the quilt, and the quilt is going to be huge. The quilt is going to be as big as my design wall, so that's a huge quilt. I made that. I made sheep, one orange sheep and the blue one. Oops, this one is also for something else. Then some goats. I made all the goats that go in the quilt. Purple one, green, orange, and dark blue. That is the goat family. And then we have horses. Yeah, that's the final one. I also made 4 horses for the quilt. Those are pretty big blocks. A red horse, why not? Orange one, and the green teal-ish one. There we go. So made quite some progress on that, I think, but also have a long way to go to work on that. But it's fun because for me this is a different technique than I normally do. It's traditionally piecing and it's not paper piecing. So yeah, it's fun to do. So the last time I worked on this, I did it like in the evening. I cut a ton of pieces so that over the next week during the day I could just sew a little bit here and there in sessions, and that worked really well. So in this box I have all the fabrics for that project, and here we have all the blocks. So this is growing and this is going well. Yes. Then we have 4 projects left. Let's see what to do now. This is the block of the month that I have with my Dutch Modern Quilt Guild, and I did the first 3 months of this year. The last month had, what is it? This was also on my design wall, but took it down for the book quilts. This block was from the last month, so I still need to make a few more of those. And then we go into, so every quarter has its own theme. So the first quarter, January, February, March, was paper piecing. And then the next 3 months, so the past 3 months, are improv quilting. So those blocks go quicker. So I feel like I should catch up. Yeah, that would be nice. But yeah, the book did not give me a lot of time to work on other projects. So yeah. yeah, I probably put this up on my design wall as a visual reminder again when I take the book quilts down, because it's nice to keep up with this. I know that when I'm not going to get back on track over the next few weeks, that this will be a project that, oh well, I did not manage. And I don't want that, because I love the fabrics I picked for this, and it's such a fun, well, community thing to work on all together. But that doesn't work when I will start next year. So I know that I'm not going to start next year, so maybe I will find time for that one. And then we have something that I'm not going to work on over the next period, and that is the arrow quilt. I showed you this before in previous update videos as well. So a ton of arrows, most of them sewn by the Sugar Do test team. So my test quilters that sewed arrows for me. And when this will be put together, then I also make kits from this and put it up in the shop as a pattern. But that doesn't have a lot of priority, since I'm now focusing on the book and something else that's coming at the end of the year. Yeah, so this is just going to be a project when things would ever slow down, which you redo, then I get to finish this and put the pattern up. I would love to quilt this though, that would be fun. And also would love to, my camera stopped filming, yeah, figure out what kind of pattern I'm going to make with this, because you can point all the arrows in one direction or make that random. Yeah, so but not a priority at this time. Something else that I did work on is the round robin with my mom. I'll see if I can find a clip from that in a different video, because this is my round robin that I started, and now it's back with me, so I get to sew something to this, add something to this. But the one I did work on is my mom's round robin, so I don't have it here to show you, but I will put the clip in the screen so you can see. Yeah, also something that I would love to work on, but had not the time over the last 3 months. That's kind of a recurring theme with my projects. Love them, but not enough time. Yeah, so this is also going to go back on my design wall as visual reminder. And also as inspiration, because when this is on my design wall, it's easier for me to figure out what I want to add to it, instead of picking it out from the box and starting right away. I have no clue what I want to add, so when it's up on the design wall, I get to think about it a little bit more. Then we have one new project. I did not need a new project, I know. Just like a little bit of a confession time, this video. It's confronting the many projects I have. But I'm fine with it, because I have so much love for all of them and they really make me happy. But I started a fun one. It's a sew along, but you don't have to sew anything over the summer, so that kind of got me into it. This is my happy jar with pieces of sea glass. Well, it's fabric but cut into sea glass shapes, and it is the summer loving sea glass sew along. So this is a tracker that you get, and you decide on a color theme, and then you couple that, you combine that with activities. So when you do an activity, you get a piece of sea glass, and then at the end of, what do we do? We do June, July and August. At the end of August you have a whole jar full of sea glass pieces, and then these are all with double-sided adhesive at the back. So then I get to place that on a quilt and quilt it raw edge applique. Yeah, so that's fun. So the only thing I have to do, or get to do now, is you could only do the tracking and then do all the fabric stuff at the end, or you could keep up a little bit with your fabric pieces as well and cut some of those. So in my box, pretty organized for this one. I have all the colors. So here we have a yellow one and a lot of scrappy fabrics, and from that I can just cut some sea glasses. So here we have two pretty colors with some sea glass pieces cut out, so when I earn a piece then I can put it in the jar. Well, I do that every few days. I just go over those days and put it in the jar. So yeah, a fun one. And the reason also why I wanted to join this was because it was focusing on joy and on happy and choosing happy and making time for happy. And I already knew that this summer was, even though I intend to not do so much over the summer because my book already launched, I know that that's not going to be the case. There's a lot of shipping we need to do in July, probably a lot of placing orders at wholesales and managing that kind of stuff. New projects coming up, well, 2 big ones at the end of the year, so I have a ton to do. So I know that even though it is the summer and I wanted to take it slow, it's not really going to happen. So this, I would love to make a huge sheet glass quilt. I have no clue yet how many fabrics I'm going to earn or how big the quilt then would be, but I would love to earn a ton of them so I could make a big quilt. So yeah, that helps me. So yesterday I ran a 5K race, so then I get to put here on the blue sea glasses, I get to, you can think of these rules yourself, but I get to enter here 5 kilometers, so that will give me 5 pieces of sea glass. And well, something else is plants or gardens, so when I would water my plants, then I earn a piece of sea glass. All the things that bring me joy are here, and I can earn pieces of sea glass with those. So yeah, a happy project. Don't need to do any sewing yet. So yeah, I thought I can join in over here. I see a little escaping. Curious where she's going to go. Hey Ella, wat ga je naartoe? Wil je de deur open doen? Oké, waar is papa? Ga je ook naar binnen? Nee. Kom je dan met mama? Nee. She's going outside with my husband. Cutie patootie. Mama even werken, zegt ze. Mama has to do some work. No. Got distracted. So yeah, that is this project. And then the final one, my missing project. This I am going to put on the wall because I'm curious how much there is and what it looks like right now. Yeah, so here we go. This is a scrappy project that I started, and I already started this at my old studio. So that is over 3 years ago, probably a little bit longer. And I did not know where it was, but it turned out it was at the bottom of my scrap box. It is a scrappy project, so kind of makes sense that I kept it there. But yeah, it's fun to see how many blocks I already have. Let's speed this up. So those are all finished little blocks, and then I have some scrappy ones over here that still need to be turned into half square triangles. So my idea was to sew together scrappy fabrics and then turn those into half square triangles. And you can continue this for as long as you want, because every time you have a color, a scrappy color block, then you can make it into this. The only thing I don't know is what kind of solid I used. Kind of a gray, but I don't know what gray. It is a Kona solid, so I can probably find it again. Maybe I'll have a little bit of color variation, but I also could add tentatively that I give those new ones that I'm going to add all a different shade of gray. That could work. Then the quilt is even going to be more interesting, I guess, and more scrappy. But yeah, I have not seen this project for a long time, and I really like it. So it's going to be scrappy, all half square triangles, and then probably it's going to be a big rainbow color gradient. Yeah, so for those of you who are wondering about this one, it's still here. I found it again. Yeah, but it's also going to go back in my scrapbox. This is a fun project, but I could pause this for another 2 years. That will be totally fine by me. Yeah. Oh yes, and then I also had this laying on my table, the knitting project that you suggested that I could turn into a tube, or is it a tube? Circular tube. I think I'm going to do that, so I'm not going to make it into a long scarf, but I'm just going to combine the ends, or what is it called? I can't find the words. Not sure. I'll just show it again, and I can also see and check if it's long enough already. So the idea was to not make this into a scarf, but combine the ends. So when I would sew this together, then you have already a nice shape. Maybe it's a little bit too big. Not sure. Oh well, then it would look something like this. I think that's nice and cozy for the winter. And then I have a finished project instead of a project that is not even halfway done. Because when this should go into a proper scarf, which would be kind of pretty, but then I would need to make it twice as long, I guess, to have something nice for winter that you can wrap around your neck. Yeah, probably, maybe it's fun to twist it and to then combine it. We'll see, but I am not going to add a lot more rows to this one. Yeah, so that's it already. I'm really curious how you are doing with your work in progresses. I have put up the new blog post for this new quarterly check-in. So go ahead, go in there and leave in the comments what you are working on, how you're doing with your WIPs. Did you do a lot? Did you do not a lot like me? Are those work in progresses still making you happy, or do you need to go in there and sort something out and get rid of some projects, which is totally fine. When you don't feel like working on it, maybe you can make somebody else happy with it. Maybe you can gift it to a charity, or maybe you can donate the unfinished project to a group that finishes projects. There are options besides throwing something in the bin. So if you want to get rid of something that does not make you happy anymore, go for it. Because it really puts a smile on my face to see all those projects, even though there are a lot, and I would love to have less of them. They do make me really happy. So yeah, well, go to the blog. The link is here. Yeah, maybe here in the screen or in the description down below, so you can just click it and check in to say to tell me what you're doing, how you're doing with your WIPs. And if you are tuning in, or no, you're not tuning in, you watched the whole video. If you are new here and still watching and wondering what is this work in progress update thing, well, we started to tackle that WIP this year, and that is kind of a encouragement to work on your work in progresses, so your half-done projects. And you can sign up through sugardo.com/ I think it's just tackle that WIP. I'll just put it in the screen here. You can sign up so you get email updates from me every month with some motivational email and a quarterly check-in where you can win a lovely surprise box from the Shibiru studio. Yep, so that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!